A conservation miracle that defies all expectations. How a Chinese wetland rewrote the rules on saving endangered species. For over 20 years, our dedicated wildlife research team has been on a mission, tracking endangered species across some of Asia's most isolated and fragile wetlands. We've witnessed the harsh realities of nature: populations dwindling, conservation efforts falling short, and heartbreaking losses that seemed inevitable. So when we arrived at the coastal marshlands of Yancheng in eastern China, we braced ourselves for another grim chapter in this ongoing story. But what we found there completely upended everything we thought we knew about species recovery and conservation success. In these seemingly ordinary wetlands, more than 5,000 Pere David's deer roam freely across an expansive 78,000 hectares of untouched habitat. These aren't animals confined to zoos or managed captive herds. They are wild, thriving, and flourishing in their natural environment. This is nothing short of a resurrection. A species declared extinct in the wild since 1900 has made a remarkable comeback, now representing about 60% of the global population. This discovery has fundamentally changed our understanding of what's possible in conservation. The resurrection story that defies scientific expectations, from a fragile few to a flourishing population. Back in 1985, Chinese conservationists took a bold step by reintroducing just 39 Pere David's deer from British zoos into these coastal wetlands. This species had vanished from China nearly a century earlier, surviving only in European captivity, thanks to the Duke of Bedford's efforts at Woburn Abbey. What seemed like a fragile hope has since blossomed into an extraordinary success. Population growth beyond all predictions. Today, those original 39 deer have multiplied to over 8,200 individuals within the Dafeng Nature Reserve alone. The population is growing at an astonishing 17% annually, creating the world's largest semi-wild herd of these unique creatures, affectionately known by locals as the Four Unlikes, due to their distinctive features. This explosive growth defies conventional conservation wisdom and offers a beacon of hope. What makes this wetland ecosystem so exceptionally successful? A perfect match between habitat and species needs. The coastal marshlands of Yancheng provide the exact conditions Pere David's deer evolved to thrive in over thousands of years. The landscape is a rich mosaic of freshwater pools, salt-tolerant grasses, and mudflats, offering ideal foraging opportunities. Unlike artificial zoo enclosures, these deer develop natural behaviors and survival skills, living as they would have in the wild. A model of international cooperation and scientific precision. This conservation triumph is the result of unprecedented collaboration between Chinese conservationists and European institutions. Experts from Woburn Abbey and Whipsnade Wild Animal Park carefully selected genetically diverse breeding stock, while organizations like WWF supported transportation and ongoing monitoring efforts. This partnership sets a new gold standard for conservation programs worldwide. For example, similar success stories can be seen in places like the Sunshine Coast Aquarium, where visitors can swim with rescued seals, highlighting how authentic wildlife experiences can surpass artificial attractions. The unexpected biodiversity treasure hidden in Yancheng's wetlands. While the Pere David's deer story has captured global attention, Yancheng's wetlands are a vital sanctuary for over 240 wildlife species. These marshes serve as critical stopover points for migratory birds traveling along the East Asian Australasian flyway, including the critically endangered spoon-billed sandpiper, which numbers fewer than 600 individuals worldwide. A living laboratory for restoration science. Over the past 15 years, conservation teams have transformed former fishing grounds back into pristine wetland habitats. This restoration work provides a valuable blueprint for similar projects along China's coastline. Each migration season brings new species discoveries and behavioral insights that are impossible to observe in captivity. This reminds us of other inspiring conservation efforts, such as those on an Australian island where a small community of 62 Kara people protect 50,000-year-old cultural and natural heritage through dedicated stewardship. Why this conservation model could revolutionize wildlife protection globally. Proof that extinction isn't always final. Yancheng's story demonstrates that with patience, international collaboration, and meticulous habitat restoration, species once thought lost forever can bounce back. The 20-year journey from near extinction to a thriving population offers a powerful message of hope for other critically endangered species facing similar threats across Asia and beyond. Community engagement as a cornerstone of success. Local communities play an active role in monitoring wildlife and protecting habitats. Traditional fishing villages have embraced their new identity as guardians of the ecosystem, recognizing that healthy environments support both biodiversity and sustainable livelihoods. This echoes findings from extensive research in Australia, where small villages have become transformative conservation hubs. Watching thousands of Pere David's deer graze freely across vast wetlands while endangered cranes soar overhead inspires profound optimism for the future of wildlife conservation. This is not merely about saving a species, it's about reviving entire ecosystems, proving that dedicated science and global cooperation can overturn even the most dire extinction narratives. Yancheng's miracle continues to grow with each breeding season, offering visitors genuine wildlife encounters that promote conservation rather than exploitation. Here, extinction truly becomes resurrection, a testament to human dedication harmonizing with nature's resilience. Planning your visit to Yancheng Wetlands. What you need to know: when is the best time to visit. The prime wildlife viewing season runs from late autumn through early spring, October to March. During this period, migratory birds arrive in spectacular flocks, and Pere David's deer are most active in the cooler weather, making sightings more frequent and memorable. How do you get there? Travelers can fly into Shanghai Pudong Airport, followed by a 3-hour high-speed train or car ride to Yancheng City. Access to the reserve requires advance booking through official conservation channels to minimize human impact on these sensitive habitats. What sets this apart from typical zoo visits? Unlike traditional zoos, animals at Yancheng exhibit completely natural behaviors within vast open wetlands. Deer form wild herds with authentic social structures, and birds follow ancient migratory routes across pristine marshes, offering a truly immersive wildlife experience. Are there any photography guidelines? Photography is encouraged to support conservation education, but flash photography and drone use are strictly prohibited to avoid disturbing the animals. For enthusiasts, professional wildlife photography workshops are available, guided by experts from the reserve. How does tourism support conservation efforts? All visitor fees directly fund ongoing habitat restoration, species monitoring, and community conservation initiatives. Tourism revenue also helps expand protected areas and provides local employment opportunities in wildlife guiding and habitat management. But here's where it gets controversial. Can such intensive human involvement in wildlife areas ever truly be non-intrusive? Some argue that even well-intentioned tourism risks disturbing delicate ecosystems. What do you think? Is this model a perfect balance of conservation and human interaction, or does it risk commodifying nature? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation on the future of wildlife protection.